Hey Mom, just wanted to wish you a happy Mother's Day, and I hope this live stream's going well. Love you.
That was my baby. So, hi everybody. I'm Robin Sullivan, and happy Mother's Day weekend. Jack, you're not a mother, but you mother a lot of baby goats and baby things. And so, how are you?
Um, Tired. I feel like that's the appropriate response. I've currently got 7 baby goats that I'm bottle feeding. I've got baby birds that we are raising. And I am actually very tired today because I don't know if you guys have seen, I have baby emu that they've graduated to their medium sized yard. So I got to move them over there today, and nobody got hurt. I didn't get pooped on, so it was a great day.
Sounds like a win. It's every mother's dream to have a day like that where you don't get pooped on and nobody got hurt. It's a beautiful thing. So, welcome again, everybody. I know we're a couple of minutes behind tonight, but I think sometimes Facebook gods are not friendly, but they seem to be now. So we're going to forge forward. We're going to make a sandwich. Are you hungry, Jack?
Always.
Okay. All right. Good. So, making sandwiches is not what we usually do, right? But we want to talk about understanding and using approximations. So it's really about, how does that all work? How does it work with training? And we want to get started right away. But I know, Jack, we've got some announcements that we wanted to let people know about.
Yeah, so some reminders we always try to give you guys. One, if you have not already, we encourage you guys to like the Leather Elves page on Facebook. That way, you are not going to miss out on any of our live streams. If you like the Leather Elves page, all of the live streams go on there, but you'll actually get a notification whenever we start a live stream. So it'll make it a lot harder for you to miss out on things. And you get advance notice of things like sales. I think, Robin, don't you have a sale going on right now?
We do. It's got the code is no excuses and it's 25% off. So well worth checking things out.
Yeah, and I know Robin does sales pretty regularly. So if you make sure that you like the Leather Elves page on Facebook, you won't miss out on any of those sales, on any of those wonderful toys. Now, of course, if you can't tune in for our live stream, if you're working or you have something else that's going on, if you subscribe to the High Redbird YouTube channel, all of these live streams will be there. You'll also get access to all of the other videos that I put together. So things like my baby emu, you can see those growing up over on those channel. And of course, if you guys are looking for more involved things that you can do, we do these live streams every single Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. But if you would like a more educational, more involved conference, we are going to be having the place.
But the great thing is that here in Sky 5, we have that ability to follow from above and not lose the suspect no matter where he goes.
Sorry, there was traffic. Anybody that's driving home.
Traffic on the live stream. It was a taste of like the kind of noises you might hear if you came to the conference and placed your bet. No? I don't know.
I don't. To
You
me,
never
the
know
very
what's going
fun
to
part.
happen.
What? Oh,
You never know what's going to happen with Jack and I, right? So you guys should definitely sign up for this conference because you never know.
yeah. I swear, my favorite part of that just then was the second where me and Robin just look at each other through the camera to make sure. Wait, I'm not having a stroke, right? You're hearing this too. Um, no, our Place Your Bets conference is coming up. It's going to be I believe it's the second weekend in June.
Mhm.
It's the 11th through the 13th. You guys can scan the QR code that is on your screen right there to get more information about it, or you can just visit www.theleatherelves.net. We do have 2 days of virtual conference, so you don't have to travel. You don't have to book a hotel room. We have speakers from around the world. we have a virtual happy hour, which I know so many people are excited about, because not only do you get to learn, but you get that camaraderie of being around other parrot people who are so involved and dedicated to putting the welfare of their animals at the top of their priority list. So we definitely encourage you guys to check that out if you have not already.
And the added bonus, so you get to hear Dr. Club and Danny Larson and Hilla Neiman and Miguel and Jack and I, but you get to spend the weekend with Jack and I. So I mean, let's think about this. It's kind of a bonus. So all right, we need to cut to the chase. Oh, and go ahead,
Yeah, so a portion of every registration will be going to the Georgia Fletcher Memorial Scholarship Fund. That is a scholarship that was organized through the Quaker Parrot Society. It is a cause that is near and dear to both me and Robin. We were both friends with Georgia Fletcher. She was an incredible advocate for aviculture, for education. So this scholarship fund, which benefits veterinary students focusing on aviculture, is a great thing to honor her legacy, and also something that me and Robin can do to help promote the future of aviculture by educating the next wave of people coming in. That is the best way to ensure that aviculture does have a future. So if you guys would like to contribute to that, signing up to this conference is a really easy way to do that.
Absolutely, because we do need to move aviculture forward. You don't want to watch Jack and I till we're like 100. It's not going to be a good thing. So we need to get some people in there, and that's what Georgia was really a proponent of. So we really want to support that, and you support that through registering for the conference. I owe you a real sandwich. Oh, I don't know. We'll get there, Melissa. I promise. So, all right. So we're going to talk about approximations tonight. And with the news copter overhead, it's going to be kind of exciting. So approximations. So it's Jack's got a whole flock of them flying by, just saying. But no, an approximation is the steps that make up a behavior. And it's when you look at a behavior, sometimes it can be overwhelming. It can be, oh, I'm going to, train this, and it's some grand behavior, and it's definitely attainable, but you can't do it in one big chunk. So how would you define approximations, Jack?
So yeah, just like you said, an approximation is just one step that makes up a behavior. It's taking something complex and breaking it down into something simple. Every single behavior is going to be made up of approximations, whether or not you're thinking of them that way. So by recognizing how you can shape those approximations, how you can move from one step to the next step, learning what to do if you get stuck on a step, all of these are going to be skills that will really benefit you as an animal trainer.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter how complex it is. It can be rocket surgery, and it's still broken down into approximations. Gotcha. So it really depends on the animal. It depends on the trainer. Different trainers are able, is it another flock of them? Different trainers are able to gauge approximations in different ways. I've worked with trainers that have an uncanny ability to know when it's time to move on to the next approximation. And some will take teeny tiny steps and know exactly when it should be a small step. And others will take these grand leaps. And I think it's something that is a skill that comes with experience. And initially you're going to be like, okay, I got to follow a plan. I have to make sure I'm doing it just right. And eventually it will come naturally. Do you agree, Jack?
Yeah, so I would say that animal training is one of those things that there is definitely an underlying science. if you understand the science of it, you can make it work. But there is an art form to it too. You have to develop your own style. So when you're talking about how you're going to move from approximation to approximation, if you move too slowly, your animal can get bored and get frustrated. If you move too quickly, your animal doesn't know what's going on and they can get frustrated. So it's finding that happy middle ground to know how to move forward. I would say one of the things that I think we have talked about this on literally every live stream we have done, at least everyone that has talked about training. Please record yourself, because at the very least, you can watch those training sessions, you can watch yourself, and you can have a full understanding of what is going on when you are training an animal, because sometimes it can be a little bit hard to see all of the moving pieces when you're smack in the middle of it.
And I think too, as a trainer, you get excited. You're doing this because you want to give your bird choices or your animal choices. You want to empower them. And when your bird is successful, it's very empowering to you. And so you get caught up in that. And it's okay, he did that. Okay, I'm moving on now. I'm going to the next thing. I'm going to teach him something new. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, who replaced my bird with devil bird? Because suddenly you've got this bird that's not doing anything that you're asking. And it's like, wait, what happened? And you'll blame it on hormones. Oh, we talked about that last week. But it's really about reading the animal, reading the body language, not allowing latency to occur. So, and by latency, that long time that you wait for a behavior, that, you cue it and you wait and you wait and you wait. And then the bird goes, I can wait a half an hour and she's still going to reinforce me. So it's about crafting those approximations so that your bird's moving forward at a steady pace, but an appropriate pace.
Yeah, and again, something else we have pointed out most of our sessions, it's really important for people to recognize that the approximations that you are going to use, the progress that you are going to see, is completely dependent on your individual animal. Even if you have two animals the exact same age, gender, species, similar living conditions, they are going to learn things differently. There is a very good chance that they are going to need a different training plan, or that they will master their approximations at different times. They may prefer different reinforcers. So, those are all things there was a fly on my face.
Right.
I'm ready for the vice presidential debate.
I was going to say, wow. But I think it's that, we talk about the study of one, and we talk about allowing, maybe it was a butterfly. We talk about allowing our birds choices, to make choices. And yes, that's part of it too. So, a bird will kind of decide, am I going to work today? Am I going to, move on to that next step? And if you're really in tune with the animal that you're training, you're going to know when that approximation needs to be kicked up a level. You'll definitely see it and you'll experience it. And I can tell you that when you have a plan, I know for me anyway, and Jack, tell me what you think. If you've got that behavior plan and you've written it all out, you know how you're going to approach something, and you start doing it, and you're just not moving through those approximations the way you anticipated. And it's like, I've been doing target training for a month now, and he's still not getting it. And so there's a little piece of you that goes, well, maybe I'll just move on to the next step. Well, it's good enough. We'll move on to the next one. And I can tell you from experience, on rare occasion, it will work, but not for the most part. I mean, do you agree?
Well, and I would say that depending on how many more steps you need to take is going to have an impact as well. If this is the very beginning of that behavior and you don't have a solid foundation there and you need to take 20 more steps, I foresee that going incredibly wrong. If it's the step right before the behavior is finished, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I have had times where I have tried to train a behavior and it didn't quite come out right, but it came out as something that was usable. So I modified my plan to instead teach this this different behavior. A good example, if you're trying to teach your bird to wave, you want to try to get it to get that foot all the way up. And it can't do that if it lifts the foot only part way. Well, you know what? I'm going to then hold my fingers out to it, and that is going to become a shake hands instead of a wave, because it accomplishes the same thing for me. It gives me a presentation behavior that I can use to show off to kids. It's a greeting with the bird, so they're going to see it the exact same way. But I used what the bird was willing to give me and adjusted my expectations. I think, again, this is part of why recording yourself or having somebody else watch your training session is incredibly important, because you can have the most detailed, most beautiful, the absolute best animal trainer you can think of, which is hopefully going to be me and Robin. But the absolute best animal trainer you can think of came up with this training plan, and you still may need to make adjustments for this animal. I've had times where I've had, okay, here's step 1, step 2, step 3. And, maybe step 3 and step 4, the animal's moving really quickly through it. So I can combine those steps really easily. But maybe step 2, we got stuck. And that needs to be broken down into step 2A, step 2B, step 2C. So having a plan is important, but being able to assess your plan, understand if it's working, and being able to pivot if needed are also going to be important.
Absolutely. And I think too, in some cases, if you see that a bird is you ready, not necessarily ready to move on, but is at that point, maybe they haven't completely mastered step 2, but they're showing you step 3 or step 4. And you're like, oh, okay, if he's willing to go from here to there, let's see if we can get there. Let's see, and we're, again, working with a number of different trainers. Everybody's got their own style as to how that works for them. It's really, it's you get your style, you get your groove, you see how it works, and then you move through it. And if you're not comfortable with how a behavior is going, chances are the bird's not, comfortable, for lack of a better term. It's really about observing, reading that situation, and then moving on, or moving backwards if you have to. And I think that's an important point.
Yeah. And okay, 2 other things that I just want to talk about, which I don't think Robin and I do an outline every week. And I don't know if this was included on there. But one, consistency of your training sessions. You definitely want to think about that. I will tell you guys right now, the more often, the more consistent you are willing to do those training sessions, the more luck you are going to have. I can tell you right now, if you do a 1-hour training session once a week, you are not going to see the same progress as if you do 5 minutes of training a day. Getting to do that training every single day is going to make a big difference. Another thing, which I've seen a lot of people, especially new trainers, a lot of them will want to do very long, very drawn out training sessions. And again, just like we talked about, moving too fast can frustrate your animal. Being stuck on just a few behaviors, but doing a training session of just a few behaviors for 20, 30 minutes, your animal can get frustrated as well. So just make sure you're paying attention to how frequently you're doing your training sessions and how long those training sessions are lasting.
Yeah, I like to refer to that as short attention span theater. That, you want to make sure you still have that attention, and that, it gets old. So, I mean, think about it. If it's getting old for you, repeating something over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, your bird's probably getting tired of it too. So you've got to kind of cue in on what's happening and what you're getting for responses. And if the responses are taking longer, if that time period between the cue and the response is getting longer and longer, then you want to kind of consider, okay, maybe I need to change this up and do something different. You also want to know what's your end goal. So when you start creating a training plan, you really want to think about, where am I going with this? What am I trying to achieve? And not, oh, I want it to be, I want them to do something fun. Okay, we all want our birds to do something fun, but
Having a bird
it's
is
got
something fun.
well, just being right, exactly, being with the bird, training a bird is something fun. But Jack, do you agree? I mean, I think it's got to be really specific where you're going with your training plan.
Yeah. I think, and again, we've told you guys to prioritize the sort of things that you need to do with your animals. So, in previous sessions, Robin and I have recommended getting a weight is a wonderful way to assess the overall health of your animal. So, if your training plan is to get my bird to step onto a scale or scale platform so that I can get a weight once a week, that's a really specific end goal. It's a very worthwhile end goal. For me, when I do presentation behaviors for animals, and I'm going to be honest, presentation behaviors aren't as useful. We can find ways that they are useful. Robin and I will definitely help you do that. But honestly, part of it is it's fun for me. When I'm training an animal to, wave, say hello, laugh on cue. All of those things are a lot of fun for me, and that can be fun for the animal as well. But I need to have a clear idea of what my expectations are for that behavior.
Mm-hmm. I think Patricia, this is a great comment. Sometimes I like to ask the bird to go to a fluid behavior for which I can reinforce them and then go back to the shaping to help build momentum. That's a great suggestion. And if you've got your skills, I mean, Patricia, you have great training skills. So if you're confident in your abilities and you can go, to another behavior and then bring them back to that shaping plan, that training plan that you're working on, I think that's a great idea. Because, we want our birds, they've got to have a win. Sometimes it happens with people too. You get in that situation where nothing's going right and you just can't get out of that. You've got to have that win. There's got to be that reinforcement that Patricia mentioned to kind of keep it, to keep things moving, to build that momentum, to keep things going. So that's important when you're considering how you're using your approximations. We had down on our outline how to utilize reinforcement. And I think that's a really important factor of it. So, and then you also need to be able to evaluate if you're making that progress. I think we get frustrated sometimes with what's going on. And, if you hit that plateau, when you hit that plateau and you've evaluated that you're not making the kind of progress that you anticipated, you need to rethink that behavior plan. You need to rethink your training plan. You need to keep it fun for your bird because it's that, okay, anybody who's ever tried to lose weight, when you hit that plateau, you've been losing weight, you hit that plateau and you can't get past it. That's the same kind of feeling. That's the same frustration level. So what do you think, Jack, when
I was going to say, on that notion of keeping it fun for your bird, I would say you also need to keep it fun for you. I think it's important for a lot of people to remember that, the companion parrots that we have, they are highly social creatures. They learn in a social context. If you are miserable doing animal training, if you are miserable doing that, your bird will pick up on that. So if it's fun for you, if it's engaging for you, I have known birds that don't need food as a reinforcer because the social aspect of just doing training is all the reinforcement that they need. Not all of them. And the birds that would like food as a reinforcer will make it very, very clear that they need food as a reinforcer. Grayson, the umbrella cockatoo that I've showed you guys numerous times, he does all sorts of behaviors. I have a great relationship with him. He wants food. He likes food, and I can respect that because I do too. So, yeah, I think, understanding all of those different aspects, finding your reinforcers, finding the approximations that work for you, finding a way to make training fun, because that's the overall goal for me and Robin. We've talked about finding a specific goal. For this session, I would say our goal is to find a way to make training accessible and enjoyable so that you guys can better enjoy having birds in your home.
Absolutely. And I think when you look at the 25 hours of content that we've created through these live streams, in essence, a lot of those are approximations to help you guys work on your training skills. We've taken it and we've broken down training birds. We've taken it and said, it's not about, it's not about just, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get them trained and they're going to do behaviors and it's going to be wonderful. It's like, let's look at what does training look like? It's approximations. It's, other topics that we've done, reinforcement. There are so many different facets to training, and they are in essence approximations. So, all right.
And I mean, and even things that you wouldn't think are training, the enrichment that we've talked about, that is a great way for you to build that relationship with your bird. The conservation topics that Robin and I have covered, having that relationship with your bird, recognizing that special, incredible way that you have to interact with the natural world. I guarantee you, if you start thinking of things that way, you are going to appreciate your training sessions more, and you are going to have more success because you are more invested. So even if some of the steps don't seem like they are useful, like they are worthwhile, I promise they really are going to make a difference.
Absolutely. All right. So it's time to make a sandwich. Are you hungry, Jack?
I hope so. I've got a lot of stuff here.
Got a lot of stuff. All right, so let's just get started. All right, I'm gonna get Jack to make a sandwich. I'm gonna walk him through this. We're gonna make a sandwich. All right, so Jack, what kind of sandwich are we gonna make, Jack?
For the purposes of this demonstration, we are acting as if I do not know how to make a sandwich. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, let me.
So.
Okay. We are gonna make a sandwich.
We're gonna make a sandwich. I think, Jack, that we should make. Yes.
I have stuff. So, what kind of sandwich am I making? Because I don't know how to make a sandwich.
I think we should make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh, okay. I think I have everything I need to make that. So here, let me adjust the camera, and then I will take you guys through this to make this sandwich. So I've got a plate, and I've got some silverware, and I've got bread for my sandwich, and I've got peanut butter and jelly and honey and mustard and pickles and nacho cheese and
Jack. Okay, so I have Jack's attention now. So first we need to make sure we've got the right tools. So Jack doesn't know how to make a sandwich. He's got a lot of tools. He's got a lot of things that are going to go into this training plan. And I don't think we need all of them. So one of the things you want to think about is making sure that you've got just what you need and what your bird or training subject needs. So Jack, you can probably put away the tuna fish, the pickles, the nacho cheese, the mustard, Let's just make more space. The mustard too. Sure. No mustard. I don't think so. Not for tonight. And then cookie butter. We might keep cookie butter around as a reinforcer. The honey can go too. We don't need the honey.
I don't know. I've seen some people make a peanut butter sandwich and they use honey. How do I know if I'm supposed to use it or not?
Well, because I'm a fabulous trainer and I'll tell you whether you need that honey or not. So we've won Patricia's approval because you've got Jif. That's awesome. Okay, so Jack, put the peanut butter on the bread.
Okay. This is so easy.
No, no.
It's,
Oh, no.
I can't. Wait. Okay, I got it.
Oh, that's not, no. Okay. So Jack, why don't you put the jar of peanut butter on the table, please?
It's not on the bread.
That's great. Thank you. I know. Jack, why don't you put the bread on the table too, please?
I see. I feel like we're going backwards. Everything was on a
It's
plate
okay.
a second ago.
Well, what I did was I realized there are a few more approximations to making a sandwich than I had thought about previously. So, Jack, can you open the bag that the bread is in, please?
Okay, so I just tear it open, right?
No, you have to twist the little twist tie. So, all right, well, put it back down on the table, please. Okay, so take the little twist tie and untwist it so that the top of the bread bag is open. Good job. Okay, now reach into the bread bag and take out 2 pieces.
For the purposes of this demonstration, do I know how to count to 2?
Yes, you do. You're a
Okay.
smart bird. Okay. Oh, so, okay, that's a great example. So Jack went 1 step further than I had anticipated. I was all set in my plan in my head. Nope, you can put it back that way. There we go. Because I'm going to go with it. So I wouldn't be explaining this if I were really, really training Jack to do this. So Jack put them on the plate and put them side by side, the 2 slices of bread. That was an approximation that in my head was about 3 steps further down the line. I was going to tell Jack to put the bread on the plate, to put the bread side by side. So good job, Jack. You get like a big jackpot for that. That was awesome. Although it was a behavior that I didn't actually request. So depending on how this was going, I may or may not reinforce. If I was trying to move Jack forward, I would reinforce. If I was not, I might be like, okay, Jack, that's nice, but no, it's not what I asked for. Okay. So now, Jack, you need to put the peanut butter on the bread. Okay. So, Jack, can you put the peanut butter back on the table, please? I'm sorry, Jack. Jack, can you open the jar of peanut butter, please? And for the purposes of tonight, you do know how to open the jar of peanut butter.
Oh, this got more
Nice.
complicated.
Oh, see? Here's the curveball that I wasn't anticipating with my training plan. We ran into a little bit of a roadblock because my next cue would have been put the knife in the jar of peanut butter, but that's not going to work. So, Jack, can you remove the sanitary seal from the top of the Jif peanut butter jar, please?
God, I hope so. Otherwise, everyone's going to judge me. Why are we recording this? Okay.
Good job. Jack, hold your knife in your, I think you're a righty, in your right hand, please. Use the knife to scoop a little bit of peanut butter out of the jar. So little is clearly a relative term for Jack.
We didn't train
okay.
little.
We didn't. So I skipped right over. So there was an approximation, again, that I had not considered. So Jack, can you please put that peanut butter back in the jar? Okay, excellent job, Jack. Jack, take out a quarter size lump, for lack of a better term, of peanut butter. Good job, Jack. Jack,
I'm gonna warn you
turn
right
the knife.
now, Gunner is
Yes.
aware that I have opened a jar of peanut butter, and he is right there.
Okay. Jack, turn your knife so that the peanut butter is facing the bread. Good job. Jack, can you put the peanut butter on the bread, the peanut butter that's on the knife on the bread? Okay. Jack, continue to hold on to the knife and move the knife backwards and forwards until the peanut butter covers that slice of bread. Oh. So, I didn't set Jack up for success. Jack, you can stop. Thank you. Jack, hold on to the plate with your other hand. Good job. And now, Jack, pick up the piece of bread with your hand that's currently holding the plate. The other piece of bread. Excellent. Hold that bread still. Hold the knife with your other hand and spread the peanut butter on the bread. Nice job, Jack. Jack, put the bread with the peanut butter side up back on the plate. Good job. And you can put your cover back on you can put your knife down somewhere where it will be safe because you're going to need to use it again. And put your cover on your peanut butter. Oh, and your other cover too, please. Okay. Now, Jack, we're going to put jelly on. So, Jack, if you could pick up the jelly jar and hold it upright and remove the cover from the jelly jar.
That was a lot.
It was a lot. So that perhaps is more than one approximation. Jack, can you please pick up the jelly jar in your right hand? Good job, Jack. Using your left hand while you hold the jelly jar, and make sure you don't touch the peanut butter there because that would just get messy. There you go. And unscrew the top of the jelly jar. Thank you. So if you want to put the jelly jar back down on the table next to the jar lid. Good job. Pick up your knife, please. You definitely can, Frank. That's why we raffle the quilts, but not the sandwiches. Take a quarter size scoop of jelly with your knife. Use your knife to take a quarter size. What?
But it's got peanut butter.
Oh.
Want to? Okay. It's got peanut butter.
Well, Jack, if you want to get your peanut butter jar, it is Joe, but the sandwich is a huge reinforcer for him. Oh. All right. So Jack is clearly at a stuck point because he does not want to use the knife with the peanut butter. Megan suggested having the dog lick it off. There we go. But
he is on board with
it. Gunner's like, yes, that's the plan. Okay, so Jack, you can put your knife back down. Good job. Pick up your spoon by the handle. Take a spoonful of jelly out of the jar. Oh, so there's not a lot of jelly in there. Place the jelly that's in your spoon on the piece of bread without the peanut butter.
Is that enough jelly?
That's a personal preference. I would go with no, but it's up to you. I'm going to let you make that choice. Do you think you need more jelly?
No, you're the trainer. You're the one that's making these choices.
But I see
and
how you
probably
react.
regretting this choice at this point.
Clearly you have a problem with that little bit of jelly because you're hesitating. So let's get some more jelly and put it on the bread. There we go. Now, using the back of your spoon, spread the jelly around on that piece of bread. You have to hold the piece of bread with your other hand. Good job, Jack. You can put the spoon down or put it in the jar. Put it down, please. Thank you. Now, Jack, you want to pick up the piece of bread with the peanut butter on it and pick up the piece of bread with the peanut. There you go. Yep. Good job. Turn the peanut butter side down and place it on top of the slice of bread with the jam. Okay. So I wasn't clear enough. Jack, can you please pick up the piece of bread with the peanut butter on it again? Thank you. Rotate the piece of bread a quarter turn to the left. Ooh,
Oh,
there you go. Nice. Good job, Jack. I don't know. I think I'm going to let Jack not have to cut that because having Jack play with the knife again could be dangerous. So I'm going to keep that dangerous implement out of my animal's reach. So Jack has completed a sandwich. Jack, if you want to, could you please put the cover back on the jelly jar? And put that over by the peanut butter? Okay. You don't have another spoon, do you, Jack?
I can get another spoon.
Well, that's okay. So Jack, you have done a wonderful job making the sandwich. And if I would reinforce you with a spoonful of cookie butter.
Oh,
but you don't. So see, all it takes is a really good reinforcer, and knowing that the cookie butter is a really high value reinforcer for Jack is enough to make him go do a whole nother behavior. So Jack, reinforce yourself with a spoonful of cookie butter.
Jackpot for that.
All right. Yay. Good job, Jack. We have now completed the peanut butter sandwich. So Jack, if you want to put your butter sandwich away and tilt your camera back up again, and we can continue this conversation. So obviously, as Joe pointed out, that was an awful lot of work to do for a sandwich. But if you're communicating with an animal that doesn't necessarily know exactly what you're asking for, you really want to make sure the steps are clear. And there were a couple times where Jack took a leap, and as a trainer, I'm going to go with that leap because it's going in the direction that I want to go. There were a couple times we had to back it up a little bit because it wasn't part of my training plan, and it also wasn't going in the right direction. So you've got to make those assessments kind of on the fly as to what's going on. So Jack, I mean, was that kind of frustrating? No, you just had fun with it.
At times. At times, messing with you was more rewarding to me than just about anything I could have gotten, which again, for people with different types of birds, I think you're going to find that they are going to have different reinforcers they like. You're going to have different challenges that you face. Not every bird is going to be the same, but like I train a lot of cockatoos. Kikes are another bird that messing with you almost seems like that is a really good reinforcer for them. They like
Birds
having
don't
that
mess
level of
with you.
fun.
They don't mess with you, but they get a response. Let's put it that way.
Well,
so, because
right, and that
there are
is
some
fair.
people
That's
who are like, and I've had people say to me before, "Oh, he's just, he's just being stubborn to mess with me." Not necessarily the case. It may be I've done this before and I've gotten a response that I like, and it was reinforcing to me, so I'm going to do it again. But not necessarily messing with. So I know what you mean, and it's so true. And I'm guaranteeing you that Melissa Davis can attest to the fact that Zorro will mess with her. And it's because he gets a response that he wants.
well, and we've pointed out that training is not you just imposing your will on an animal. It is a way to communicate with an animal. So I think that is really important to point out that a lot of people would look at it as this animal is messing with me, but no, you are providing a response to that animal that did encourage those behaviors, whether or not you were aware of it. So. That can be something to definitely take in mind. Another thing I'd point out, so with making a sandwich, with any behavior, you are training your animal. There's a lot of people that will say this is the only way that you can train that behavior. And I would say that is not the case. You train the behavior to be what you want it to be. So if Robin wanted to train me to make an open-faced sandwich, if she wanted to train me to make a peanut butter and honey sandwich, but she told you guys at the beginning, she wanted to make peanut butter and jelly. She knew what she was expecting of this behavior. She knew where she wanted it to go. If you encounter an animal that does things a different way, another trainer that does things a different way, that doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. It's just not the way that you're doing it with your animal. And learning from different trainers who have different approaches, working with those people and getting to see how they get their different approximations, the progress they make, is going to help you as an animal trainer.
Mm-hmm. And I think, you really do need to make the training plan your own as well. We really want to empower the birds and how how they approach things. Different birds approach different scenarios in different ways. And we really want to think about how do we make that our own? And so, once you train that behavior, then what happens? I'm done, I'm out, I'm good. It's all trained.
Well, I would say there's a couple of options you have. And okay, so let's go back to our sandwich. We made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We could use those same beginning approximations, setting up your plate, getting your utensils, setting out your bread, to then train making a tuna fish sandwich, or a sandwich with pickles or mustard or nacho cheese. I literally just grabbed random things out of the pantry that I didn't think would go together. But you can use those same beginning approximations to train a whole new behavior. And because you've already cemented those approximations, you're going to have quicker progress because the animal already has part of that new training plan mastered.
And I think that goes along with what we've been saying all along, Jack, is that target training is a great building block. You do the target training, the touch of the target is an approximation. And you can use that in so many different ways and work it into different training plans to get different final behaviors. I love target training. I feel like whether you're doing it with, target to a hand, target to a target stick, depending, whatever you choose to use, you can use that in other ways. You can use it to get them on a, look, are you using a spoon as a target? You can get them to get onto a scale with a target. And so there are so many different ways you can take that approximation that your bird is confident with, is, it's a solid behavior that you've trained, and then apply it somewhere else and get a completely different behavior. Approximations aren't exclusive to one behavior.
Right. And I know Robin and I can sometimes, I hope you guys don't feel this way. To us, we feel almost like a broken record at times, because we do keep coming back to things like target training, recording and assessing your training sessions. And honestly, all of these basic steps are going to help you, because Robin and I have seen them work time and time again, not just with things like parrots, but, hoof stuff. You are not going to go to a zoo where they are training their entire collection of animals without seeing target poles and target sticks that are specifically made for every single type of animal that they are training. It is an incredibly useful behavior that can be applied in so many different ways, for so many different species. Training pelicans, which are not the smartest bird, but you can target train a pelican, and it is the exact same approach as target training anything else. Just you might need to adjust your approximations. You might need to adjust the tools that go into it. You're probably not going to need the same target stick or target pole for a green-cheeked conure or a pelican or an elephant. You're going to have to change things up there. But the plan is going to be really, really similar for all of those.
Absolutely. So we've got a little bit of a fundraiser going on in the comments, Jack. The question was, how much do you have to donate to see Jack eat a pickle with some peanut butter on it? And Diane's got 20 in already. So it could be a cookie butter or peanut butter. I think it's up to you. But I think if people would be willing to donate to this, Jack, we could put it towards the Georgia Fletcher Memorial Scholarship Fund.
I would be okay with that. Why do I agree to things?
Look at that, you guys. Huh. So, if you are willing to donate to see Jack eat a pickle with some peanut butter on it, the money will go towards the Georgia Fletcher Scholarship Fund. And so if you just put in the comments that you are willing to, how much you're willing to donate. And Diane, are we going to stay solid with that 20? Kate's going to donate 30 if you throw in the nacho cheese.
Oh, God.
All right, so we've got, what I will do, guys, after we're done, I will figure out a way to make this happen with the transfer, and I will get back to you. So, Diane, I've got you down for 20. Are you going to add the nacho cheese in there?
I mean, if it's making more for the scholarship, I will. But,
so
yeah,
Kate, we've got Kate for 30, and we've got Karen Anderson for 20. I'm so glad that you were the one that made the sandwich.
Peanut butter does
Terry Clark is down for 20.
Peanut butter
Diane, up to 30.
If you guys were wondering. What should I do? Gunner, help.
We're at $100, Jack, just for the pickle and the peanut butter and the nacho cheese.
I don't know how this happened.
Oh, it's because we all love you. That's why.
Okay, well, Gunner got the peanut butter off my hands, so that's good.
All right, $100 Georgia Fletcher Memorial Scholarship Fund.
Oh, I just realized the nacho cheese is cold too.
Good call.
I don't know if that would make it better or worse.
Kate, I owe you. Just saying. You can do it. Oh, you are awesome, sir. Oh, wait, Kate was asking for hot sauce. Can you do that again?
I don't have hot sauce.
Oh, that's okay. Next time,
I
Kate.
got the strawberry balsamic serrano jam. How about I just do?
Wow. John
Here.
says you're going to need one of these masks to cover up your breath.
Oh,
All
it's
right.
not good. It's not good.
Not good.
It's not good. It's not good.
We have gotten to this point. I'm kind of shocked. All right. So thank you, Jack. We have raised $100 for the David Fletcher. Do you have like something to drink there, or can you? We don't want you to pass out or anything. That would be bad.
I need to go grab a paper towel, but I did eat it. So
He did. All right. So you guys had no idea you were going to see this when you signed up for this. When you signed on to this live stream tonight, did you? So. All right. I want to thank Diane and Kate and Karen and Terry. I will get back with you. Oh, and Janice is in for 20. Did you see it already, Janice? Kate said it's for the students, Jack. It's for the students. Yay.
Yeah.
And Frank put in 20 just for the look. This is awesome. Yay. All righty.
Well, and again, Robin and I told you guys, for us, this is important to promote the future of aviculture. Lori, we will keep you posted, but I don't know if I can hold you to that one.
Oh gosh.
We're really, really happy that you guys have fun with us every single Friday. You guys make this an enjoyable experience. So thank you guys so much for being a part of that, for, helping out with the George. Ooh. Oh, sorry. That was like pickle with a little something. Just
a little extra something. So
good.
the funniest part is Georgia would have loved every moment of this. So I do want to thank you guys. This is really great. And what I'll do is I will invoice you all, and then we will get that money to, and 20 from Patricia. And we will get that money to the treasurer of the Quaker Parakeet Society. So, all right. So we have had quite a bit of fun tonight with you guys. It's been a little different, but we do have a trivia question tonight. I'll even read it, Jack, so you don't have to. So the trivia question is, what is an approximation? So we have said this many, many times this evening, and the prize for tonight is additional, if you're registered for the conference, additional parts in your skewer kit.
Yeah, so and I don't know if you guys know, part of the conference is going to be hands-on workshops. So, pickle. You guys will get materials mailed out to you. We just ask that you register by May 31st at the latest, so that Robin can get those parts to you. But we are going to send the parts to get you guys all set up for the conference.
All right. So Megan says a step. I think, are we going to a step? Is that what we're going with? Nick, small steps. What else have we got? Have we got anything a little more descriptive, maybe?
Yeah, so we've got that it's a small step, but what is a small step of? There we go.
A step that makes it bigger. Good job, Julie. So, Julie, I'm not sure if you are registered or if you're planning to, but if you do, you will get additional parts in your skewer kit. All right. So you guys definitely get what this is, and I appreciate that you listen. Diane thinks you're hysterical, Jack, and she's quite correct. So for anybody that tuned in the middle of all of this, you're kind of going, I can't believe this is what happens. We do take behavior seriously, but we still want to have fun with it. And next week, we will be talking about what bird clubs do. And I know, I said before, bird clubs are kind of going the way of the dodo, but let's hope they're not. And we're going to talk about what's the value in being part of a bird club and what do they actually do. So any final words, Jack, before we let you go? So, you can.
I was going to say, I think I'm good now. There was like one really bad burp, but I think I'm fine now. Again, we will encourage you guys, make sure that you don't miss out on these live streams because you never know what's going to happen. Realistically, we don't know what's going to happen. So make sure that you like the Leather Elves on Facebook. Subscribe to the High Redbird YouTube channel. If you guys are interested, Nick has put up on the screen, we do have High Redbird t-shirts over on the High Redbird Threadless store. That's going to be highredbird.threadless.com. A ton of really fun shirts, coffee mugs, things like that you guys can take a part of. I know right now Robin has a sale going on for the Leather Elves. So you definitely want to make sure that you take advantage of that. That's going to be with code No Excuses. There are going to be a couple of things that are omitted from the sale, the conference being the biggest aspect among them, but a couple of other things. But you guys get 25% off so many different toys. The Leather Elves has so many quality toys. I definitely encourage you guys to go and check that out. Now, speaking of the conference, don't forget that we have the Place Your Bets conference coming up. That is going to be June 11th through the 13th. Again, we encourage you guys to register by May 31st. That way, the parts that you need for the hands-on workshop, or at least one of the hands-on workshops, because we will have multiple hands-on workshops, but we'll be sending you the parts for one of them. We need to make sure we have time to get them to you. But you can go ahead, you can sign up through www.theleatherelves.net. You can register there. You guys are going to have so much fun. We have speakers from all over the world. We have a virtual happy hour, and it's a virtual conference. So you don't have to travel. You don't have to book a hotel room. You just get to have a whole lot of fun. And that is what we have every single week. Robin and I have talked about this time and time again, both with you guys and apart from you guys. For us, finding a reinforcer for us as we're putting all of this together, at times you wouldn't know what the reinforcer would have been. And we have come to realize that for us, seeing the people interacting in the comment section, tuning in every single week, the level of engagement that we get, the fact that we make you guys happy, that is an incredible reinforcer for us. So thank you guys so much for being a part of our Friday night live streams. Don't forget, we are going to be here every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern for the foreseeable future. I don't know. How many more random combinations of food are we going to make me eat?
I think we could do it. Excuse me. Frank did ask, how do they get the money to us? People who donated tonight. Frank, I will hunt you down. No, I will get in touch with all of you. I'll probably invoice you through the Leather Elves. I just have to figure out the best way to do it. I know all of you, everybody that donated, I'm familiar with all of you, and I will get that out to you. I want to thank my son for that Happy Mother's Day message. It was really sweet. And I want to thank Nick, because I know that Nick had a big hand in that. So happy Mother's Day weekend, you guys. Enjoy, and thank you so much for making these live streams fun to do. And there's Gunner. Hi, Gunner. How was the peanut butter, buddy? So good night, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.